you're not sure, have you heard the old term, when in doubt, whip it out? It's a good one, you know, because your reserve is pretty much likely to work. I mean, I can't officially say it's 100%. I can't say that, but it's damn close to 100%, assuming that you execute your reserve procedures correctly. But sometimes, brake lines, you look at that and go, all right, it's got a tension knot. Maybe if I cut that brake line, now it's going to fly straight, and I could use the rears to land the parachute, which is true. The only thing is, and we discussed this a little bit yesterday, and I think we've brushed on this topic more than once a little, that your brake lines don't do anything in full flight, right? Nothing. They're just trailing behind the parachute. And yet when you stall your parachute on the rear risers, and that parachute compresses front to back, and those brake lines that were loose, they were slack, they actually become tight. And they change the shape of the parachute. They actually improve the shape of the parachute in the rear riser stall configuration. And so when you actually don't have brake lines on there at all, like maybe you're missing one because you cut that brake line for whatever reason, just keep in mind that when that rear riser stall actually happens, it might veer off into a turn. Or if they're both missing, both brake lines, it may just stall a lot more aggressively than you're used to on the rears. So if you choose to land your parachute without brake lines, I'm not talking about just not having your toggles in your hands. I'm talking about you physically don't have brake lines. Don't stall when you land. Don't go for a full stall landing. You can rear riser to level flight and just sort of hold it above that point where it doesn't stall. And then if you got to, roll it out or slide it out or something, okay. Just don't try to push it all the way to the end, because you might find that it doesn't do what it used to do. Yeah. So that's an important concept. And I'm not suggesting that if you break a steering line, everybody should automatically cut away. I'm not. I'm just saying you better be damn good at rear riser flares so that you don't accidentally stall on landing. Yep. Well, I just posted a video recently. I can post it again here, where I'm flying next to somebody and having them go through some rear riser maneuvers. And one of them is to do the rear riser stall, and the next one is to practice the rear riser flare. And you can see it's like, he's levels off. And they're like, oh wait, stop there! Don't let it stall! Don't let it stall! And that's the rehearsal. To actually feel the lift, feel the weight gain, see that it changed direction of flight. It will move the pitch, not as much as braking would, but it will move the pitch for sure. And you just go to just to the edge, where it's almost the stall point, but you're just above that. And you can land a parachute safely that way. It's just you clear through that line, that invisible, dotted line, and the parachute just lands at the same time as you do. Right? Just it's quick. It's quick. But it's a skill that anybody can attain. It's not that hard. It's not. You don't have to be a super athlete or a heavily loaded kind of a canopy pilot. You just got to learn how your parachute performs with the rears. Some of them will stall with just a few inches of input. Others, you'll have to go so deep that you can't believe that the parachute's still flying. You know what I mean? You got your connector links on the rears. Here, some parachutes will still not be stalled. Wide variety. You got to figure out what's over your head. Yep. And it's a fun thing to do. It's just, it's that edgy zone between fun and scary. You're sure to here we go. All right, I'm going to do it. What's the altitude? 3,700 feet. I can do anything at 3,700 feet. Here we go. All right. All right. Any second now. I'm going to do it. All right. Just one more second. I just need another 3,500. Damn. All right. I'm going to do this. There's a lot of sort of the head games, and you just have to do it. You just have to face it. And you'll discover that most of the things that terrified you aren't really that bad. You fly it around, man. You know what I mean? You go, all right, I still am well above cutaway altitude. How does it turn? What if I accelerate, gain some airspeed, flare the parachute in dynamics? When you're testing a parachute for stability, you cannot be gentle. You cannot afford your fear to make you gentle. You have to be the opposite of gentle. And if the parachute passes that test, you'll feel good about it. If it doesn't, you'll be glad that you found out above tube. Yeah, I've had a few of them that I found myself, getting ready to flare, thinking, what did I get myself into? Why am I landing this piece of crap
Mm,
when I've got a perfectly good thing on my back here? It's fun,
yeah,
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 right? I love just the sound of the risers releasing. It's a
yeah,
very distinctive sound. There's nothing quite like it. And then it's like, the acceleration like a balloon jump. And they're like,
yeah.
how'd that reserve get there so fast? And it's not a big deal if you practice it. You know what I mean? So if you know exactly which river option, there's so many different ways to do it, but you just practice it to the point where it's a no brainer.